This story takes place during the Great Depression. Two migrant ranch workers, George, who is a responsible and reverent person, and Lenny, who has a mild mental disability, which leads him to always depending on George during their companionship and their traveling experience. On their way to their new job, they both discuss their dreams of gathering money to have their own ranch. Lenny plans to tend his own little rabbits. When they get their new job, they meet an old man by the name of Candy, who has many years of farm experience. They soon end up meeting his son Curly, who messes with Lenny for no apparent reason. Then they find out he had just got engaged to a beautiful woman, although it was not the best idea due to the fact that she tended to flirt with other ranchmen. Curly enforces Lenny to stay away from her at all times. Candy eventually finds out by eavesdropping on them about their dream on getting a ranch and is willing to help them achieve it financially.
So during the second day after work, Lenny, George, and all of the workers are playing cards while Curly comes in here angrily concerned about his wife. So he gets all of the guys grouped up and looking for Curly's wife while Lenny and George stay back playing cards. Candy walks in while they're talking about their plans about getting the new house and like the lake and the bunnies, because that's what George always wanted to talk about. With Lenny, the bunnies always had him in love with that. So after that, Curly walks in like all rampaged up and he tries to post up to Lenny while George is like telling him to back off. So he's punching Lenny in the face all the way till he hits a wall. Lenny eventually gets mad and just gets him and just breaks his hand off. So after that, Lenny was like known as like the big guy, strong guy. So Curly didn't mess with him anymore. He just had that hand. So the wife was real concerned, asking him what happened. So they had to tell him the lie about the hand, telling that he fell and he broke her machine. So, well, during that, also the wife is also constantly flirting with him. So he always tries to find a way. That's also the reason why that fight started, because he also noticed that the wife was starting to flirt with him a little bit with all of it.
The next day after Lenny's fight with Curly, Lenny accidentally kills his puppy in the barn. Lenny hides it, unsure of what to do and afraid of getting in trouble. Curly's wife walks in and sits next to Lenny. Curly's wife tells Lenny about her disappointment with Curly and her dream of becoming an actress. Lenny then shares his penchant for petting soft things. Curly's wife then offers to let Lenny pet her hair. When he pets too hard, she panics, which makes Lenny hold on to her more firmly. When Curly's wife tries to scream, Lenny shakes her head and accidentally breaks her neck. Lenny flees to the riverbank where George told him to hide earlier in the book. Candy finds Curly's wife's body and calls for George. When George sees her body, he realizes what happened. He and Candy both know that Curly and the other man will want to lynch Lenny for killing Curly's wife. George knows where Lenny has gone and takes Carlson's gun. He runs ahead of the other men to find Lenny first. George finds Lenny at the riverside. At first he tries to scold Lenny because Lenny asks to be punished for accidentally killing Curly's wife. When George hears the men approaching from behind him, he asks Lenny to look out across the river. George describes their dream of owning a piece of land and starting a farm. Lenny listens with joy. George then takes Carlson's gun and aims it at the back of Lenny's head. George shoots Lenny before the other man can arrive and hurt him. Slim consoles George, understanding what happened and why George killed Lenny. George lies to the other men, telling them that he had to take the gun from Lenny and shoot him out of self-defense. Slim reassures George that he did the right thing. The two men walk away together, leaving Lenny's body with Curly and another ranch hand.
John Steinbeck emphasized two aspects of humanity, where Lenny is described in terms of animals. He is devoted to George like a dog is devoted to its master. He has no ability to understand his own bad actions. He has no conscience. His innocence keeps their own dream alive, but his imperfections make it impossible to realize. On the other hand, whereas George represents the voice of reason, which keeps Lenny in control as he has so many desires. He doesn't kill Lenny for no reason. It represents the destruction of a person's animal intentions, lust, violence, and gluttony.